from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Your source for the Department of Energy's environmental cleanup news. Energycast starts now.
Hi everyone, I'm Summer Dash. Welcome to your September episode of Energycast. Let's get started with some energy bites.
It reads just kind of almost like an Apple Watch wheel. Tracks that.
Protecting workers is looking pretty cool, even though it may be really hot. We're going to show you the new technology keeping the team safe from heat.
You're on fire.
Well, this virtual reality has a personality. We're going to show you how UCOR employees are using new tech to learn real-world lessons, and you do not want to miss the very chatty voice behind it all.
A little too cold for the southern boy, so we ended up back home in his hometown.
From the love of the job to the love of her life, we are getting to know a new member of the environmental management team, Erin Sutton. Hang around to meet the new director of the Quality and Mission Support Division. All those stories are ahead here on Energycast, but first, continuing to grow opportunities for the people of East Tennessee is one of our goals. Right now, some who live in the historic Scarborough community are seeing those realities. There are a lot of jobs here. Oak Ridge is full of career choices. The team over at United Cleanup Oak Ridge, or UCOR, made sure those who live here knew about them. Let's send things out to Energycast's Cameron Jacobs, who takes us to a recent workshop. Cameron.
Hey Summer, the Scarborough Community Center held a special event that's getting the word out about career and business opportunities to area residents. The workshop is raising awareness about exciting opportunities right in their backyard.
UCOR is where I'm really gravitating to. I've got family that works out there. You know, I've got a lot of people that I know, contacts that work out there that say, you know, they've been doing it for decades and they love it.
About 50 people gathered at the Scarborough Community Center in late August with hopes of landing new careers.
Well, I was trying to open up opportunities for myself so I can see like what do I want to do in life, like what careers do I want, stuff like that.
UCOR officials are making sure residents of underserved and disadvantaged communities have their chance at possible new careers.
We're increasing our community outreach. We're making an effort to focus our investment attentions in underserved and disadvantaged communities. We've established relationships with a number of communities that were depressed coal communities. They are some of the best workforce I have ever worked with in 35 years of my life.
UCOR hosted the workshop and went a step further by bringing in other partners that could educate participants about resources available to them. Among them were the local businesses and the Tennessee Department of Workforce Development.
This gives us an opportunity to come out in the community and to meet folks where they're at. In the past, we have been used to folks coming to us. So now, after COVID, we're excited to come back in the community and provide services to the individuals that need them.
Really, the intent is for you to be able to go through here, gain information, make informed decisions on what career you want to follow, whether this is the start or reconnect or rebirth opportunity for you.
Overall, around 50 people came to the workshop. It marks a successful night that is helping support our future hiring needs. And it might just mean a new job on the horizon for some of the men and women who attended the event. Summer?
Cameron, thank you. That event was held on August 18th. The Scarborough community is in Oak Ridge, by the way. We've had interns from that area, and we are hopeful events like this will help us attract more employees from that community to our workforce. And we'll be taking this workshop on the road and expanding to other communities in Oak Ridge and surrounding counties. We're going to be reaching out in the months ahead. Check back here on Energycast for updates. We have an update to a story about the emergency sectors for you. In August, we reported they'd changed for Oak Ridge. Cleanup progress had eliminated risks, and that means fewer sectors. DOE and the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency have now released an updated booklet on how to stay prepared if an event happens at one of the DOE sites. This booklet helps people learn their sector, shows you where to get updates during an emergency, and identifies evacuation locations. You can find the brochure online. The website is listed right there on your screen for you. You can also aim your phone camera at that little box, and the link should pop right up on your screen.
You incurred some cost to yourself, and so NRDA, our goal is to try and compensate the public for whatever that cost was.
And we've got an update right now following a public meeting. DOE recently hosted this event to share information, answer questions, and hear feedback. It focused on natural resource damage. That's a topic some may not be so familiar with. The state of Tennessee, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and Tennessee Valley Authority worked alongside DOE to evaluate how the area's natural resources were impacted by historic operations at the site. The group also developed a restoration plan, they explained at this meeting. That plan includes a $42 million account that will fund projects to restore and protect natural resources in the area. The draft plan is available online. Website is on your screen. You can provide comments on this plan. We will have more updates on this over the next few months. As you can tell from our stories this month, we are very active across the community. With that in mind, we just finished updating our public involvement plan for you. It's something we work to update every 3 years with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. The document shares how to participate in the decision process for our projects, just like the restoration plan we just mentioned. It also shares contact information for people in our office if you've got any questions or if you'd like to get involved in any way. That link is also available right here. How about some building demo? We love to see that around here. The bulk shield reactor known as Building 3010 was deactivated. That process makes it safe for workers to begin its teardown. Let's head out to Oak Ridge National Lab where demo is underway. You're watching historic demolition.
It means a lot. It keeps us moving forward on our mission.
This is the first time an old reactor has been taken down in Oak Ridge.
I spent 10 years in environmental management working on technology development to come up with ways of tearing buildings down and cleaning up.
And environmental management leaders are pretty excited about it. Looking on from a distance.
The pride they show in their craft.
Even though they've seen teardowns before.
Drove the right way.
Being able to see the products of all the plans, all the strategies in environmental management to where we see the skyline change.
There always seems to be something sentimental about these moments, something nostalgic.
Just makes me remember those days when I had the opportunity to do that and a recognition of every single thing they did and how much we holistically, not just UCOR, but how the whole partnership across the reservation appreciates it.
This time lapse shows the day's work. The bulk shield reactor was built in the 1950s. It was officially shut down in 1991. Plans to demo it began in 2018. It's just one more stop on the way to the next cleanup project. From the workers operating the big machines to the ones calling the shots.
Moving forward with our commitment to the country that we're cleaning up our environmental responsibilities and everything going into this building, bringing everybody along, all the regulators of the state, everybody that you need to bring this together. That's what it's a big deal.
Though the goal is tearing things apart, on demo days, the EM team is more together than ever.
Now to transition over to two major government sites, one dealing with national security, one with a great science mission, and then help our country rid itself of these old facilities.
Because while the past is clear, the future is open.
Demolition is expected to be done before the end of the year. Of course, we will keep you updated on the progress right here on Energycast. From taking buildings down to building them up, construction is done on a facility that will play a really important role in Oak Ridge cleanup. You're looking at a 3D rendering of that building known as the mock test facility. So we're giving you a virtual look this month, but next month we are excited to give you an official walkthrough with the project managers. The mock test facility plays a really important role. Employees there are going to test and mature technologies needed to address a unique form of waste stored at this site. Right Right now, there are 500,000 gallons of this waste on site. Future cleanup efforts will process that waste and ship it out of state for permanent disposal. Projects at Y12 are catching attention and grabbing awards. 5 teams were recently honored for their innovation and teamwork at the site. EM was part of 2 of those projects. First team safely removed 3 buildings without damaging or impacting an adjacent facility. Second team demolished and cleaned up the former biology complex area. Removing the biology complex was a big-time project for both EM and Y12. The project clears 18 acres. The plan is to build the lithium processing facility there. It'll be an important piece of infrastructure to support Y12's national security missions in the years ahead. You are about to hear from Kevin Bradford. He's with Y12. He does a great job of explaining this.
This one is all about the integration between NNSA and the DOE Office of Environmental Management, as well as their contractors, their prime contractors, UCOR and CNS. We've got these huge old facilities that have been accessed for many years. Some are owned by NNSA, some are owned by DOE-EM, some are owned by other DOE entities. And in order for us to modernize the site, in order for us to reduce risk to the site mission, to site personnel, to the surrounding area of Oak Ridge, we've got to get these facilities carefully demolished, safely demolished, and disposed of so that way we can accomplish all of our goals. A great example of this is the biology complex demolition. There was careful coordination, careful planning, integration of the teams that we've worked on for many years in order to get to the point where the facility could be demolished by DOE-EM. It required support from the CNS Utilities Organization, the CNS Projects Division, as well as other organizations to make sure that could be safely demolished by EM. I would just say that without all of their hard work and dedication to communicating, to carefully planning together, we wouldn't have been able to achieve this successful project. We wouldn't continue to be able to do the things that we're able to do as we look forward to demolishing Alpha 2 and Beta 1 and Alpha 5 and Beta 4 and the list goes on and on. But it just highlights the need for that communication, and the team members did that.
A top DOE leader now has first-hand perspective of the latest work in East Tennessee. Energy Deputy Secretary David Turk was in town recently, and our teams had plenty to show him during his day in Oak Ridge. The impact of partnerships was on full display. He visited ORNL and Y12, where he heard about the latest developments happening in research, national security, and environmental cleanup. Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks also visited. At ORNL, the 2 leaders celebrated the dedication of Frontier, the world's fastest supercomputer. Check this out. At both sites, Turk saw important cleanup projects we have underway. We've shown you many of those right here on Energycast. Those projects are protecting ongoing missions and clearing land for new ones. You can see Turk touring former research reactors at ORNL with our leadership team there. He also visited just before demolition began in that area. He's going to see quite the transformation during his next trip.
Use emerging technology to become the best at what we do.
I'm glad it's not me doing this.
Okay, so this is the most encouraging virtual person ever. So complimentary. In just a few minutes, we're going to show you the new learning tool being used in Oak Ridge. She's so nice. Building skills and confidence.
Extremely crucial. It's been a great addition and everybody really likes it.
Labor-intensive tasks in areas without air conditioning makes for a tough job. Between the work itself and the East Tennessee summers, it gets hot. New technology is helping to make sure employees stay safe on site. We're going to show you when we come back in 30 seconds. All right, imagine it is 100 degrees outside and you're doing intense labor in full safety gear. That is the reality for a whole lot of workers on the Oak Ridge Reservation. To keep them safe in the most extreme conditions, a new technology has been introduced. Let's take a look at how it works. Amidst the big machinery, bright safety vests, and typical tools you'd expect at a construction site, there's a small one you'd likely miss if you didn't know to look. These employees have no problem showing off the new tech for the camera. Yeah, it's right there on his arm.
I think it just gives them a better feel to let them know, hey, we are actually watching out for you all.
And it's working.
It's good about, hollering at you as soon as you hit that peak and you're done, you're out of there.
You may wonder, wouldn't a person know if they were feeling overheated or overworked? Not necessarily in these conditions.
I mean, you can't tell how you feel when you're pressure washing, if you're out here in the heat working, you're just trying to get a job done, you know what I mean?
The device goes on the back of an employee's arm. It has a sensor on it.
And it reads just kind of almost like an Apple Watch wheel.
Tracking heart rate, body temperature, and exertion level.
Having the live monitoring makes a big deal.
A person's age is taken into consideration to get a healthy range.
And it gives us some great data as we're working to have it in hand so we can monitor people in real time, which makes a huge difference.
Alerts are sent to a cell phone.
So it lets them know when to stop and take a break or to come out, and then it also allows them to go back in.
It'll also vibrate on the worker, letting them know something's up.
I mean, the vibrations that you get, it's good, so that way when you've hit your peak, double vibration means you can go back in.
GPS tracking helps know where workers are if needed. So though it's just a small tool out here,
extremely crucial. It's been a great addition and everybody really likes them.
The safety implications are huge. All right, so while we're talking about safety in the real world, how about in a virtual one? Before we go to break, you have got to see this new virtual reality training. The UCOR team is using it to practice skills, and I'd say it's kind of a mix between learning and daily affirmations.
Much better. Now, back up the vehicle into the dirt pile and dump the dirt into the pile.
It's a very unique technology. It's the first of its kind, or the first use of it in this application. So we had to take many things into consideration: the height of the individual, the length of their arms. So a lot went into making it work and making it real.
Great job. Looks like our excavator operators just earned another trip.
So UCOR is a learning organization, and we are always trying to use emerging technology to become the best at what we do.
I'm glad it's not me doing this.
We can train indoors. We don't have to worry about inclement weather. We don't have to worry about heat stress.
You're on fire.
And the possibilities for use in training are endless. There isn't anything that we can't train to with the VR.
Excellent. I've never seen such amazing spotter skills in my life.
We are the first company in the United States that started doing this with the VR. Nobody else is working on it. So we are blazing a trail for this type of technology.
I'm so impressed with how great you did. For the final step, perform the stop engine signal to conclude. That completes the spotter operation assessment. You are free to exit at any time. Hey, quick reminder before we head to break. We want to hear from you. Do you have a story idea for us? Think hard. Rack your brain. Is there someone who works on the Oak Ridge Reservation you think has a story we should share? Maybe you've got a super coworker with a unique story. It can be directly related to their work in environmental management or not.
Maybe you know of a neat upcoming project we should cover. We are always looking for story ideas. We really hope you'll help us with that. If you want to see the news end up here, let us know about it. You can email your story ideas and tips to oakridgeem@orem.doe.gov. That email is on your screen there right now for you. We would love to hear from you.
My mother was a U.S. history teacher, and I think she would absolutely love to hear stories about, my experience out here.
If you work in the federal building or visit, you're going to see a new face has joined our team. Make sure to say hello. We are introducing you to Erin Sutton. She's sharing her goals for the future and projects on the Oak Ridge Reservation in just a few minutes. So I'll admit we may be biased in saying this, but I think we scored some of the best interns. We are so grateful for them. Help us say good luck as many of them return to school. But that is not the end of the story. More on that after the break. Are plugged into the community, this time through the Nuclear Opportunities Workshop in Knoxville. The event was sponsored by UCOR and put on through the East Tennessee Economic Council. Students and interns from across the area showed up to network. A panel of leaders talked career opportunities and workforce needs. There will be plenty of job opportunities in the field, by the way, as more and more EM employees become eligible to retire. And the interns are done. Congratulations. They finished their summer program, but not without completing one last assignment. They gathered to give presentations to their mentors and peers about what they learned during their time in Oak Ridge. Common misconception here. Not just engineering. The internship program offers slots in communications, supply chain, and safety, as well as a whole slew of other departments. And the interns are paid. Many do go on to get jobs in the field.
The amount that I learned, the amount that I've grown and was able to do over this summer was just something that I am so thankful for. And I tried to do my best to express that within the presentation.
This marked the biggest year yet for the expanding intern program. It brought in 29 students from 12 schools all across the country. 3 joined the workforce full-time. 2 others got job offers. About half of the 29 students will continue supporting UCOR throughout the 2022 and 2023 school year through an extended internship opportunity. This, by the way, is the first time that option has ever been offered. And next month, we're going to be introducing you to some of our apprenticeship programs that are bringing in workers as well. It's all about drawing top talent to the Oak Ridge area. If you'd like more information about UCOR or the programs offered, head on over to the website on your screen. You can also look for open jobs there as well. We are spotlighting a new team member who just joined our organization's leadership team. If you are in the federal building in Oak Ridge, you may now see Erin Sutton. She is the director of the Quality and Mission Support Division. We sat down with her one-on-one to find out about her career, personal life, and goals for EM.
I used to work for the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation out of the Knoxville field office with the Division of Remediation, and the Division of Remediation managed all of the what we call Superfund sites in the eastern half of Tennessee. So we provided oversight and assistance to various entities that wanted to clean up, and also with liable parties that came into the program to complete the investigation and clean up of the Superfund sites in Tennessee.
Your past life was in New York, and now you're here. You've got family in both places, so tell us a little bit about how you ended up in East Tennessee from your hometown in New York.
Well, I married a boy from Morristown. I met him in graduate school in southwestern Virginia, and we moved up to New York for a couple years, and he didn't like the climate. It was a little too cold for the southern boy, so we ended up back home in his hometown in East Tennessee, Morristown.
Very nice. And now you've got family here, it sounds like.
I do. My mother, as soon as I started having babies, my mother retired and moved down here, so everybody who, you know, really means something to me is here.
Working in this federal building, that's an adjustment. That was an adjustment for me. On one hand, it was a little bit intimidating because you walk in through the security. But then I just thought, this is so amazing. It's so historic in a way. How's that been for you?
It is very historic, and my mother was a U.S. history teacher, and you know, I think she would absolutely love to hear stories about, you know, my experience out here, and I'm actually trying to get her to do the whole AMSI tour sometime, but really love to get her out here and show her around.
Even some people who live in our area in East Tennessee don't really realize what we have out here. We've got AMSI, we've got the K-25 History Center. There's all these ways to get involved and see the history that's happening here, which is really, really neat. And then as for the work, what are your goals over the next, say, year?
Going to try to make a concerted effort for outreach, getting together and knowing all the different players in the city of Oak Ridge and Crowett and DOE and all the various partners that help support DOE and their mission here.
And then in terms of what you might want to tell the teams working here and what you might want to tell our community, any message for them that you'd want to share?
The partnership spirit to Oak Ridge, and utilize everybody, you know, be able to interact with them and hear their concerns and be able to promote redevelopment in particular out at East Tennessee Technology Park.
We've got a whole lot more news to share with you in October. We are excited to share our one-on-one interview with new Roane County Mayor Wade Cresswell. He's going to talk about how our mission is helping people in his county. And we're also going to take you on a tour of a new facility we just built. Research there is going to help us design new technologies that treat a really unique type of waste. And we're going to take you back to building 9213, that's at Y12. This time, though, there is not going to be a whole lot to see. Employees are wrapping up another successful demolition there, and we are going to show you how our workers changed that area. All of this is coming up when our next episode is released on October 16th. Thank you for joining us for Energycast. New episodes come out on the third Sunday of the month. You can watch on air and online, and we post Energycast episodes on our Facebook and YouTube pages the day after they air. Head on over to follow us on our social media accounts. We are always happy to answer questions and share information with you there as well. And remember, if you work in environmental management in Oak Ridge, keep us in mind if you come across a story. We are always looking for news tips and story ideas from all across the reservation. Email your idea to oakridgeem@orem.doe.gov. Let us know there, and you might just see it right here. See you next time.